for the people, in case someone is not presenting, to mute their mics so that we get lots of feedbacks in the background. Or you can actually mute all our mics, and maybe when someone wants to say something, they can raise up their hand and you unmute their mic, so that we have at least a audio all through.
Perfect. It's a good idea. Okay, so we just give like 2 or 3 more minutes for more people to join, and then I would just set up the live broadcast on my Facebook. Let me send this to more people. Okay, 2 more minutes and we'll start. I'm just setting up the... Okay, great. Okay, so we're live now on Facebook, and I just, as people start joining, I'll let them in. And, okay, so we're live now on Facebook, and I just, as people start joining, I'll let them in. And, okay, so we're live now on... okay, I don't know why there's an echo, sorry. Okay, good. So let's begin. First of all, of course, Miriam, thank you so much. And Ivan, thank you so much for joining today and for agreeing to give the first sideline talk for the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. I was lucky enough to be able to attend last year's session, and it was a huge success, but because of course the coronavirus situation, so they actually, it was now, it's online. Well, I think this is the trend for a lot of, events are going online now. So basically, the purpose of having this kind of sideline session, and I see we have Jayesh here, which is great. Welcome, Jayesh. Jayesh actually is also an expert on Uganda, because I believe he's traveled there many times. And so he can also attest to his experience with Uganda. So now we thought of having these kind of sideline talks because, and on Zoom, so that actually, and it can be broadcast live on Facebook and recorded so that we can share with as many people as possible, as we were having really great meetups on the WOVA application for this event. However, the issue, of course, came back to the fact that, you know, it would be nice if we had a bigger audience so that they can benefit also from this information versus the few people that were in the meetup. So this is where the idea came to have the Zoom and to have it recorded and broadcast live. The idea here, of course, is that maybe we can have different sideline sessions throughout this week. This is the week, of course, of the official, you know, launch of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, but it's an opportunity for people to get more information about Uganda and to be able to get more information about what Uganda has to offer and to see if this is something they can sell to their market, their clients. So I'd like to, of course, go right into it and introduce Miriam first. And also we have with us Omu. And Omu maybe can also, let me have Omu first introduce herself, and then we can go into our session and our speakers and our presentation, which I'm expecting will be a big surprise today. Welcome, Omu.
Hi. Okay. I'm a bit old school. I'm one of those that believe that in events like this where you network, your cameras should be on. My name is Omu. So my name is Omu Obilor. I run Omu Obilor Luxury Event Planners. I'm based in Nigeria, but I work globally. I've been in the luxury space for over 10 years and done trainings in luxury branding. I'm also a certified coach, speaker, and a trainer. So I coach, speak, and train on leadership and luxury and services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I, of course, I've already more or less introduced myself, but I'll just say one last point. I was appointed the tourism and Goodwill Tourism Ambassador for Uganda in Egypt. So, and it was the first time that an Arab or someone from the Middle East was appointed as a Goodwill Tourism Ambassador, which again, I think is a good sign that there is this interest to market Uganda to clients from the Middle East, from North Africa, and also from Africa. And it's important, I think, when we talk about tourism, restarting tourism, we know, of course, we were hit with the COVID pandemic, and this has had a huge effect on all of our tourism industries. But in order to prepare for the restart, I think it's a good time now to at least gather information about the different destinations to see how we can sell these destinations to our clients once tourism starts boosting again. So we'll start with Miriam today, our speaker. If you would kindly introduce yourself, and then if you can give us your presentation.
Thank you, Nancy. Hello, everyone. All protocol observed. Welcome to this session, Discover Africa. Magada Miriam, I'm the owner and managing director of Go Uganda Safari Limited. We are an inbound tour operator and destination guide based in Uganda and operate within East African region. And we've been in operation for the last 13 years, organizing customized tours and curate packages to suit clients' interests. We are active and full members of Association of Uganda Tour Operators and members of SCAL International. And our vision is to provide remarkable travel encounters within African nature, whilst touching the earth lightly. We support economical development in host communities. We recognize culture, the people, and leave a social legacy. So for today, our theme is Discover Africa, and I'll talk briefly about Africa. Africa is a continent with 54 countries, of which 48 are mainlands and 6 inland nations. Not a single country as people assume. And each country is uniquely endowed with rich diversities in terms of people, culture, history, wildlife, geographic location. Therefore, each offering a variety of tourism potentials that are worthy to discover and experience. Tourism in African continent is on a positive growth, and the numbers have increased to 8.6% over the past years. But despite the fact that the continent has great potential, diversities, and successful stories, little is known about Africa. So today, our aim as tourism players is to create awareness and ensure African government make it more accessible to tourists to enter these countries and enjoy the experiences that are different from their own. So today I'll be talking about Discover and Experience Uganda. And Uganda is to the size of Oregon State, but it's condensed with such a diversity of attractions that one can see even within a shortest visit. Sir Winston Churchill was so much in awe of this country and referred it to as the Pearl of Africa. It is a hidden gem in the heart of Africa and lies across the equator, and this gives it a perfect climate year-round, which is favorable for the tourists and the people and the wildlife. Uganda is a spot on when it comes to tourism diversity and potentials. And the country is a must ecotourism destination for any adventure seeker, wildlife or culture lovers and photographers. The ecotourism focuses on conserving and protecting the country's natural resources. And the aim of the conservation is to preserve the natural resources in their natural state for now and for the future generation. So Uganda has some Africa authentic experiences you can enjoy. And all these experiences are aimed at supporting and minimizing negative impact on the natural, culture, social, and historic environment. And they ensure direct financial support to the people where activities are being generated and enjoyed. I've categorized all these experiences. So the first one is cultural experience. The best future in Uganda are the people. Uganda are the most friendliest, always carry a warm and wide smile on their faces, which give a homely welcome to the visitors. So if anyone out there is fascinated by culture or custom or interested in the manner in which different people express themselves through food, art, or social life or entertainment, so these cultural experiences will offer you opportunities to meet and mix with the local people, explore all the cultural patterns that are in different, which is different from yours. And at the end of it, you will gain a deeper understanding of the destination, its culture, and the special features that may pose through museums, art galleries, festivals, markets, and food. We've got adventure experiences. And if you're an adventure seeker, you'll be able to enjoy more challenging and active itineraries. And this involves real physical challenges that may come from bug jumping, zip lining, whitewater rafting, kayaking, riverboarding, quad biking, volcano and mountain climbing. Uganda also offers relaxation experiences, and this will get you into islands of Lake Victoria, where you can enjoy a cold breeze, do the swimming, sundowner cruises, fishing, forest guided walks, and a taste of the tilapia and Nile perch. We also have an array of luxurious lodges and hotels in their own uniqueness and serenity with outdoor environment that are perfect for the wedding and honeymoon holidays. We offer nature-based experiences, and this gives you an opportunity to explore these environmentally sensitive protected areas with numerous parks, which offer excellent boat trips, game drives, guided nature walks, horseback riding, balloon safaris, and primate watching in close proximity. We do also offer volunteer experiences. And if you are seeking for such services, you can have a service-based experience by either helping a host community build a house, school, or church, You can also volunteer in special need or orphanage homes, teen centers, and conservation centers. And this is an interactive experience between the host and the visitors, in which tourists volunteer in an organized way to undertake a holiday. Uganda also is a MICE destination. It has lost its profile as a MICE tourism destination, and in 2017, we were ranked 8th. Therefore, we offering opportunities to diversify Uganda tourism and provide new businesses. So one would wonder, why should I visit Uganda? All the Ugandan packages are designed with responsible travel aspects to minimize negative impact on the environment and conserve tourism destinations. And all the travels are to national areas that conserve the environment and sustain the well-being of local people. Therefore, you will enjoy the Uganda life experience. I have a number of points as to why you can visit Uganda, but I'm just going to be brief in them because of time. One, Uganda's ecotourism sites are less crowded. Therefore, they offer you a unique, authentic, and responsible experience. And the Ugandans are very hospitable people. They have a sense of humor, a warm smile that makes you feel welcome. The country has a unique and very rich wildlife with more than 130 species of large mammals that are harbored in wildlife reserves and parks. And the wildlife safaris give you opportunity to view the big five. And it's not waiting into long lines of cars to see these animals. So the experiences are really worth the time and the effort. The country houses 50% of the world remaining mountain gorillas. And we do have 20 habituated families for tourist view and research. And looking into the eyes of a gorilla gives you a lifetime memory that you can't easily forget. We do offer conservation support safaris. What do I mean by this? When you purchase a gorilla permit or a chimpanzee permit, you are contributing to the survival of these apes and the conservation of their habitats and improving the livelihood of communities. Uganda is a primate capital. The country is unique and boasts a high diversity of primates in the world. So tracking chimpanzees and gorillas in their natural and incredible habitat is a fantastic experience and a big highlight for you to visit Uganda. It's also the only area in Africa where you can track rhinos on foot in Zua Rhino Sanctuary. The country has 50% of the birds in Africa, and its location is rich in Western Central African birds with a natural list of 1,772 different birds. So the Uganda forests and swamps support such a huge diversity of bird species and so provide roosting, feeding, and breeding areas to these birds, hence offering you excellent birding opportunities. We do have volcano and mountain hikes or mountaineering. These may be tough and rewarding activities. So hiking through the many vegetations and culminating the peaks of Mountain Rwenzori and Mountain Elgon is such a great experience. Uganda has a diverse cultural heritage with over 56 local tribes, each with a distinctive custom, norms, and rich cuisine. So if you are looking for different cuisines and dining out with the locals, it gives travelers an authentic and enjoyable experience. We've got spectacular views and photogenic sceneries like the Makshan Falls, Sipi Falls, Sempaya Hot Springs, and Lake Bunyonyi Terraced Hill. So if you are a photographer and you are looking for these beautiful, beautiful areas, Uganda would offer you the opportunity. We've got a vibrant nightlife with the best nightclubs in East African region where you can relax, chill, refresh your mind after a tiresome schedule. And a nightlife tour of Kampala will give you a true authentic feel and extend your experience. Uganda is politically stable, and we have a whole department of tourism police, which is in charge for the visitor safety. There is an easy connectivity and widespread of usage of internet to keep you connected with your family while you're on your trip. There is also easy connectivity in the world of air. Uganda has just acquired a national carrier, the Uganda Airlines. So with the plans to reduce on fares and ease connections to and from Uganda. Lastly, Uganda has the fertile soils, good weather, growing lots of organic fruits, vegetables, foods, and the best coffee in Africa. So with that, I would like to thank you and welcome you to visit Uganda for God and my country, Mother Uganda. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. Your session honestly was incredible. You gave us so much insight. And actually, if you guys allow me, I would like, of course, also Omu to also give her feedback. But I would like to share with you something really short. I put together actually yesterday, but I hope that you will like it. It's just it's a collection of some of my photos. I put them into a video from Uganda. It will give you a little bit, at least you can see what Miriam was talking about, especially like she said, and I love the way you described it, looking into the eyes of a gorilla. I mean, that experience, I have to say, was one of the most inspiring experiences I ever had, honestly. So if you allow me, it's just a quick video. I just wanted to show you some of my experiences.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think, especially for my friends that always ask me, why do you talk so much about Uganda? And are curious how and why I've fallen in love with Uganda. I think that video, even though it's only 1% of my experiences, 1% of my photos, but I think you can kind of see in that video why I fell in love with Uganda.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So Omu, I would love to hear your insights before, because I know that I'm competing with Ivan, who's a professional photographer. So my photos are, you know, the kind of selfies with iPhones and things like that. No comparison whatsoever. So you know, I figure we start amateur first before we give him the big shot and then see Ivan's work, you know?
And the dundas come last.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Good. It's still morning here. It's almost afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Omu Obilor. I live in Nigeria, but I work globally. I am happy to be in your midst. For some reason, like I said to Nancy earlier, Uganda is something that I just haven't visited. I've been to Kenya, Tanzania, Johannesburg, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Republic of Benin, Togo, Gambia. But for some reason, I've been all around it, but I just never had been to Uganda. So it was such an honor to be here. And with my experience in planning, I started looking into selling Africa 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I'd always sold the Caribbeans, Mexico, and all that to Africans and everybody. I'd never sold, and they keep asking me, where can we come to in Africa? Where can we come to in Africa? And I knew there were rich places, but at the time, I just wasn't ready. So that has helped me identify the things that we're doing wrong and why we're not able to attract as much tourism and as much respect in the tourism field. Because when you go to even the top, if you look at every blog, if you Google top 10 tourist sites in the world, if you Google top 10 destination wedding venues, if you Google top 10, if you Google in the world, no African country, it's very difficult for an African country to come up. If it does come up, maybe South Africa, and that's because South Africa has done a lot to advertise themselves as a country and to brand themselves as a country. No other African country comes up. And it's such a shame because I've been to practically the whole of the Caribbean that is on top of the market and different places in Europe. They're beautiful. There's no doubt about that. But I know we have the potential to have places that are just as nice, if not better. And God has blessed Africa in such a way that we have these resources as natural. We don't have to go somewhere to look for a gorilla and bring it to our zoo. It is their natural habitat. We don't have to dig artificial lakes to form water. It is our natural beach. It is our natural resources. We didn't go outside to bring chimpanzees or monkeys or mountains or anything. These are things that we've been blessed with naturally. Not to talk of our teas, our flowers, our coffees, our shea butter, our palm kernel, our cocoa from different parts of Africa. And I shared with Nancy how I was in England and I walked into a shop and I wanted to buy a can of coconut water. And I picked it up and I said to myself, are you crazy? You have a coconut tree right in your compound and you're coming all the way to UK to pay pounds for it. Where did they get those coconut from? Africa. And then we go and buy it. So I think it's time for us to look inwards. Nothing would give me more pleasure than to sell Uganda. I like to sell what I believe in. Yes, I'm in the luxury market, so I'll look out for brands that align with mine. However, I will not hesitate to help any other because there's a market is there for everyone. Everyone can't be in the same niche. And even in my niche, I come across people that need other things, and I'm ever ready to be of service to anybody that needs it. And I expect every one of us to be. On that note, I want to say that we can't sell Uganda alone. I can't sell Nigeria alone. What Nigeria has, Uganda doesn't. What Uganda has, Nigeria doesn't. Nancy can't sell Egypt alone. You can't sell Kenya alone. there has to be some form of collaboration. I don't know how many people have been to the Caribbean. They've done so well that when you're moving from Barbados to Grenada or from Grenada to Jamaica, you actually feel like you're in the same town. And they kind of work together. There's always strength in numbers. And I would close on this note, which we're all in the same platform. I happen to be the director of BNI. I'm BNI in Nigeria and the national trainer. And BNI is the largest referral network in the world. And there's something I picked up from it. It says givers gain. And I say that because of the platform we're on. I noticed that a lot of people are quick to advertise themselves. You don't get business by advertising yourself or by selling. You get more business by giving, because you start by building a relationship. So what are you giving? It is when you give, you get something in return. So let's start giving to each other, giving to our society, giving to our nation, and giving to Africa in general. That's the only way we can get it. It's a law. What we sow, we're going to reap. You can't plant orange seeds and expect to harvest mango. So what are you sowing? If everyone comes to the market with an intention to sell, no one is going to buy. And that's what's happening to us here. Everyone has come to sell. You shouldn't come to sell. You should come to buy, come to network, come to build relationships. And that's the way it would blossom into something else, something great, and we would all reap that fruit. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't take too much of your time.
No, thank you so much. So I wanted to, before we start, because Ivan has a really amazing presentation, and I'd like to welcome my colleague Ahmed as well to the group. I want to put a few people on the spot. So Jayesh is joining us. He attended, I actually met him at the last Pearl of Africa tourism events last year. And he also works in the tourism industry in India, and is very much interested and very much about promoting Uganda as well. So Jayesh, can we also steal you for like a couple of minutes just to also talk about your experience and why you think Uganda is a destination that should be promoted, and how your thoughts as international, how should I say, tourism stakeholder?
Hi, good afternoon all. Well, it is afternoon where I am. So good morning, good afternoon. As Nancy said, we met at the last Pearl of Africa event, but I had attended the one before that as well. But last year was very well organized. It was well thought out, etc. I'm an ex-Kenyan myself, so the heart beats faster when I'm in Africa. My family lived in Kenya for about 175 years. And I would have been the 8th generation in the family if we would have continued staying there. My bad luck, my parents and forefathers decided to migrate. Now, but fate brought me back when I grew up to Africa, and we are Africa specialists, B2B tour operators based in India. Apart from India and the UK, where we have our own offices, we have sales and networking partners in the Middle East, in countries like UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi. And we'll be expanding this network in the CIS and the Russian countries as well. So being a B2B player, we give our network partners the product which suits their local source market for the African continent. So apart from East Africa, we do about 5 countries in Southern Africa as well. Having traveled, I wouldn't say extensively, but I'm quite well traveled within the African continent. The most frequent destinations are South Africa and Kenya. But Uganda, yes, I've been there a few times as a child and as an adult, or as a tour operator as well. What I find unique about Uganda is compared to, say, Tanzania or Kenya, because they are part of the same sort of bucket list as such. The landscape is different, I find. Obviously, you have your gorillas and your chimpanzees, which are unique to yourself and Rwanda. But I would say Uganda, we're talking about the 3 East African ex-allies, if I can use the word. Then you have the chimpanzees and the gorillas, which are unique to you. But apart from that, even if you're looking at the big 5 safaris, I found Murchison Falls and even Queen Elizabeth Park slightly, Murchison Falls is a lot different compared to, say, Serengeti or a Masai Mara or something like that. But I found Queen Elizabeth to be, although not so densely populated, or that was our experience when we were there with the big 5, but it is unique in its sense that it has a huge water body next to it. So, it can be a lovely combo of a safari. What I would like to see different in Uganda, before I go on to that, I must add Jinja, my favorite place. I did my first rafting experience in Jinja. My first bungee jump was in Jinja. So it's very close to my heart, and the rafting was a fantastic experience that I was lucky to enjoy. So yes, Jinja is a lovely place for soft adventures. If you go to websites, you will see that we have a separate package for Jinja, apart from doing your regular wildlife as well. Coming back to what I would like to see happening differently, and focus on international passengers is substantially less if I compare it to say Kenya or Tanzania. When I say focus, I mean the requirements of an international traveler. In the lodges that we stayed, in the hotels that we stayed, the food that was being laid out in the buffet or on the buffet counters was more suitable to the East African or the Ugandan palate. And okay, as a tour operator or a travel professional, I like to try different cuisines. But we need some change, like basics like pasta was not there, or any other days really. It was more East African food. So I think maybe the lodges that were selected for us could have been different. No disrespect meant to anybody. Something else that I find lacking, if I can use the word, is the concentration on the Asian market. This applies to almost all African countries except South Africa. South Africa spends a huge amount of money every year in the Indian source market. I think second is only Kenya, but there's a huge gap between the two. Uganda, no. Tanzania, no. And I gave almost a 90-minute presentation last year when I was at Pearl of Africa on the benefits of tapping the Indian market. And we had about an attendance of 125 people. They understood it, but as a private enterprise, you and I can only do so much. I've been tapping the shoulder of the tourism board. Lily is a good friend of mine, and I've been tapping her shoulder as well that, look at the Asian market, look at the Indian market, because these are the sort of younger markets of the world. They have got a lot of disposable income as well. I mean, yes, Europe is and was a good market, but your emerging markets of future are Asian markets. So that was my take after my 2 or 3 trips to Uganda or other parts of Africa, I keep on repeating this. Have a look at the Asian market. Hopefully, somebody will pay attention to my rants at some point in time. But for that, we have started a platform by the name of Concept Africa. It's a concept with a K. This is more of a platform for African vendors to connect with buyers, be it B2B or B2C, from the Indian and the Middle Eastern markets to start with. Concept Africa has plans to go beyond these 2 markets as well within Asia. It will be basically to support the Africans. So with that, I thank Nancy for this opportunity and would look forward to visiting Uganda very soon. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So who, I see here we have Herman. Can I put you on the spot, Herman, to maybe respond to some of the comments that Jayesh had said?
Hello, Nancy.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Herman.
Hi.
Yes. Yeah, I was struggling to hear him. I don't know, it wasn't, I think it's my network or something, but I barely had most of the points I was talking about. But the one I had was that we need to go into the Asian market, Indian market. And to respond to that is UTB is, I think anytime, either this year or next year, we'll be hiring a market representative firm in India. We have one in China, but we are looking at hiring one in India, and that's one of the steps we are going to, to see how we can tap into that market. Before COVID happened, we actually had a farm tip of about I think 20 or 30 Indian tour operators. We worked with our embassy in India, and they got a number of tour operators from India, and they came to Uganda, and we did the farm tip with them. And afterwards, they had.
Of course, the internet, I think in most of Africa and probably in Asia as well.
It's the whole world.
The whole world seems, yeah, to be honest. Yeah. So we kind of go with the flow.
America and the UK are having internet issues because everyone is online.
Yeah, I think we just learn to go with the flow as you know, as it is. But Herman, are you back?
He's muted.
Did you get muted?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I'd like to also welcome Xavier, who has joined us. Xavier, welcome. This session, of course, is we're promoting Africa. I particularly am specifically interested in promoting inter-African tourism. This is a side talk related to the POATE event for this year, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, which I was lucky enough to attend last year in person, and this year.
Hello? Sorry, I lost you guys.
Ah, no problem. Now everything is online. Yeah, Herman?
Yes.
Back? Okay, sorry. I was just explaining, welcoming Xavier to our session, and just explain to him the purpose, of course, of this session. It's a sideline talk. It's not, organized by the organizers, the UTB, but we as participants, especially a lot of us are passionate about Uganda and about promoting Africa and promoting inter-African tourism. So we decided to have this sideline talk. And actually, if you saw my presentation, I used the slogan, Africa, my Africa. But this is actually something Omu had come up with, which I think is really exciting. We met through, of course, this forum, and all of us actually, I think we're like-minded in the sense that we're really keen to promote our continent and to let more people know about the tourism opportunities opportunities that exist in our continent. And the spotlight, of course, today is on Uganda, not just because of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo and because we have Herman, Xavier, and all these wonderful people who, you know, would be very upset at me if I didn't start with Uganda, of course, but because I myself am very passionate and have fallen in love with Uganda. So I want to share that love with everyone. And that's why I invited some amazing people like Jayesh and Omu and, you know, others to be able to really be able to share that passion, why Uganda is one of those places you cannot just visit once. It's a place that once you visit, you find yourself thinking about when you're going to book your next trip. So, sorry, Herman, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. If you would kindly continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know why you lost me at.
I think it might be the network, but yeah, you were talking about, you were answering the comments that Jayesh had about how come we or Uganda was not focusing or targeting on the Indian market, which is kind of up and coming market. And at the same time, I think there was a comment also Jayesh had made about the cuisine, you know, little things like adjustments. And it's good to kind of hear from people, you know, what they're saying, how we can improve the experience for tourists.
True.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay. I didn't really get the bit of the cuisine, but I heard about targeting the Asian market. And I was saying that we had before COVID, we had really started on targeting the Indian market. We are in China, but now we had started targeting the Indian market, and we had organized a farm trip for about 30 tour operators from India, working with our embassy in India. We took them around, and then after, you know, them visiting, going around Uganda, they had the meetings with Ugandan tour operators. And it was all promising because they had promised they were going to bring a MICE event that was going to bring about I think 10,000 people. And then COVID happened and that went to waste. And then what we're doing now, I think in either this year or next year, we'll be hiring a market representative firm in India, so that we can, you know, they can represent Uganda and market Uganda in India. Those are a few things we are doing.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, for about the cuisine, I didn't really get the issue.
I think the issue was about the food being more geared toward like an East African, you know, preference in terms of the foods. And he was saying, Jayesh, sorry, if I'm rephrasing what you said, Jayesh, but even though as a tourist, he likes to try new things, but he said it's good to have certain like staples, like pastas, things that you know will, you know, be, how should I say, like a food of choice for other tourists that maybe aren't ready to try new things. That was his comment.
Okay, yeah, it's something we can advise the lodges on. I know if most of the let me call the good lodges have intercontinental menus, but then I don't know where I slept, so we will need to advise those. But I know most of them have intercontinental menus, and you almost can get all that you want in most of them. But it's nice. We can give them back the feedback, and we'll see how we can improve. Definitely need the feedback for them to improve.
Perfect. I think Omo has a comment, but if it's okay, I just want to ask Herman, since we have you, and I see we have Dr. Khalid has joined us. Welcome, Dr. Khalid. I know that I've read somewhere, and you can confirm if this is true, and I know even from the time of the African Cup of Nations that UCB and Uganda in general is looking to attract the Arab market. And I know now there's a specific focus on the GCC market, and you've recently invited a social media influencer from the UAE to Uganda to experience Uganda. Can you talk maybe a little bit about this? Is this the case? Are you focusing or targeting also on that market?
Yeah, now the Gulf states are one of our core markets. And what we are doing now is that one, we have hired an media market representative firm in Dubai, and mainly because Dubai has a lot of expatriates away from the Emirates, the Emiratis, but the expatriate community is also huge. So we want to target both of them, and we are working with that. It's called Avaribs, our market representative firm in Dubai, but it's covering all the other states in the UAE.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then recently we had Khalid Al Ameli, just so we can tap into his audience. He has about, I think, 8 million followers on social media.
Oh, wonderful.
And yes, so we took him around, and he made a couple of videos. So he's running a Ramadan show that's going to be happening on his social media platforms, mainly Facebook. So we're waiting for it to run and see how far it's going to go, because he had earlier done a video about his maid, a Ugandan. She was about to leave his family, and then they surprised her, and the video went viral. It has views of over 30 million views.
Oh, wow.
So when he planned to come to Uganda, we asked him to, let's take you around, let's show you more than Kampala, because it was basically going to come and stay in the city center. And we convinced him to take him out of the city, where most of Uganda is an eco tourism destination. So most of our attractions are outside of the city, in the national game parks and all that. So he agreed, and we took him to Bwendi, tracked the gorillas. Then we did an aerial view of Queen Elizabeth. Then we came back to Kampala. But he had a good time. I can't wait for him to, post the videos they recorded on his social media, and maybe you could reach about 50 million people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, just one last question, since I have you again on the spot. I'm so sorry, Omu, but because I'm ADD, so I'll forget. But the Toro Kingdom, so Fort Portal, why would a tourist want to visit that area? What does it have to offer?
And now, Toro Kingdom, Uganda recently got we kind of earmarked new cities. And Fort Portal, which is in Toro Kingdom, is one which is earmarked as the tourism city. Now, it being a tourism city is basically because its proximity to most of Uganda's key attractions. When you're in Fort Portal, you can easily cross over to Bwendi, Queen Elizabeth, to Maction Falls. So it's like the center where, if someone is coming for safari experience in Uganda, when you start from Fort Portal, you easily connect to the rest of the attractions. And then the kingdom itself, it is well endured with a number of other attractions. It has about 52 crater lakes, and all these 52 crater lakes are all unique in a way. And in the background of the kingdom is Mountain Renzori, which is commonly known as a mountain of the moon. They say King Solomon's mines are hidden in there. And so it is one of the mountain resorts for the people who have climbed it. I haven't climbed it myself. I'm not that fit. But people who have climbed it say it is the toughest, because it's a block of ranges. Yes. So we have had guys who have climbed Mount Everest and all that thing, and they come and say this is the toughest. So for those who are looking for that tough adventure, yeah, you need to visit Renzori. And then the other one is more about the weather. It's Uganda generally had good weather, but the epitome of that good weather is in Fort Portal, Toro. Yes, and then the people are very nice. And then now there is this beautiful culture of the kingdom. We have the youngest king, King Oyo.
The world, right?
Yes, he's the youngest king in the world. And next year, the kingdom will be making 200 years. So we're planning to do something like what Egypt did, that parading of
did you see that?
mummies and what? Yeah, so we're also in preparations of doing a parade of culture where we're going to showcase our dances, our food, our all the other different cultural gatherings. The Batolo have a culture where whoever comes to Toro and you spend about 3 nights, you're given a pet name. Now,
Wow.
there are about 10 pet names, and each of them have different meanings depending to your culture and what. So when you visit them, they give that pet name. It is something exciting that whoever goes to Toro, you'd want to come back with a pet name. Mine is Adieri. Nancy, you missed to be named, but since you like connecting people, we'll give you a cake the next time you visit.
Okay, cool. Does that mean we get, so myself now and Omu and Jayesh and all of us in this group, do we get like an invitation now that we're on this group here, you know, to attend?
Yes, yes. Every September we celebrate our coronation of our king.
Good.
So it would be nice to have you people, you know.
Nice. So Jayesh and Omu, you have to block out your calendars now for September. Oh, that's amazing. Miriam, do you do a lot of trips or a lot of packages to the Toro Kingdom and to Fort Portal?
Yeah, I do. And when I started working with the national parks, I worked with Kibale for 3 years, which is within Toro Kingdom. And I was given a pet name, Amakiki.
Ah, so you already got your name.
Yeah, I've already got my pet name.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So there's a ritual you have to go through to get the pet name. So when you come, definitely we'll take you through that ritual. But Nancy, you deserve to be a cake.
That's awesome. I'm so sorry, Omo. I talked so much, but you had something you wanted to say.
Okay, yeah. It was actually targeted at Herman. I wasn't sure whether he was here when I spoke. I'm happy to meet you virtually, and I'm in Nigeria. I had spoken about us looking inwards as Africans, and I'm a bit concerned, and please, no one should get upset. I mean it from a good point. I have worked in several countries as a Nigerian, as an African, and I've also worked in Africa. There's absolutely nothing wrong in expecting tourists from all over the world. But I think it was about time we paid attention to ourselves. No one can sell, you see, no matter the amount of work the tourism board does, you guys are even lucky. Nigeria, we're still fighting, the tourism board is still neither here nor there. But no matter the work the tourism board does, if we as a people do not believe that our brand is good enough, and if we do not believe that you should be looking for us, not us looking for you, we have something. If we don't get to that point, I'm afraid we'll just be repeating the same things we've done and expecting a different result. So I think it was about time we start. We've always worked from outside in. I think it's time to work from inside out. With your Ugandans, with our Nigerians, with the Egyptians, with the whole of Africa, with the exception of South Africa, and I say this because I've worked in South Africa a lot, so I see their method. The problem that I see is we don't even develop and build capacity of our people. We're more concentrated, we concentrate ourselves on people coming, people coming, people coming. If all these people come, can you actually handle it? What resources have we put in place to handle them? So you want all the people from the GCCs and all that, a lot of them fall into the category of luxury travelers. What have you put in place? And like I had said earlier, we are so blessed that we have those things available to us naturally. all we need to do is change our mindset and work on it. So if we had to go and import gorillas, it would have been a different thing. Or import elephants. Some countries do that. Some countries have man-made rivers and man-made lakes, and we have all those things as natural resources. So it's just to train ourselves, and and then, like I had said to Nancy, that we need to, in the Caribbean, when you move from Barbados to Grenada to Jamaica, you don't even realize you're moving across countries because they've learned to market themselves together instead of one. So there has to be some common point as Africans. If I can't, I mean, I go to international events where I'm speaking, and if I can't confidently say to someone, the person says, I want to come to Africa, and I say, what are you looking for? And he says, oh, he's looking for where he can do a desert, safari, go on a safari. I know we don't have a safari in Nigeria, so nothing stops me from saying, look, you need to get to Uganda. But I can't do that if we do not feel all-inclusive as one. Same thing with you. If someone says, oh, I'm looking for a place where there's a lot of nightlife, they are very vibrant, they have beaches. You can say, oh, Uganda has beaches, but we're not as, gregarious as maybe Nigerians and Lagosians. Go on to Lagos. And, I want to take out of here like a cross-border collaboration, even with the operators and the workers in Uganda. And then you're able to now, because there's strength in numbers. If you went to GCC and you had and we had a representative from Nigeria, Uganda, Egypt, it was certainly going to make more impression than if you went as one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I know David raised his hand, and I want to give and also Ale, and I want to give also a chance for Xavier if you'd like to say something as well. The topic, of course, is and Omu said it very nicely, that promoting Africa. I mean, if you don't know what we offer, will we be able to promote our continent to anyone else? If we travel to our own countries within our continent, how would we expect others to travel and visit these our various very rich and very different complementing countries? So David, would you like to say something? You're muted. Also, Ale, I see also you raised your hand. David, would you like to comment? Okay, so either David or Ala. Ala, would you like to say something, and then till David's microphone is adjusted?
Hello.
Hello.
From Lebanon to all of the colleagues, the people in this nice meeting about Africa.
Welcome.
And nice to meet you all. Nancy, thanks for this nice invite. Pleasure to be with you in this nice meeting. And we see how we can support Africa and Lebanon and Middle East, because every people who needs help is our target. You know that I'm ambassador in Lebanon for media and human rights. So how we can support these people, I'm ready.
Okay, so today's session, we're talking about promoting Africa as a tourism spot or a destination, I should say. So and we're focusing on, like, I myself, I'm from Egypt, Omu is from Nigeria, Miriam is from Uganda, as well as many others from the group here. So we're basically talking about how we can promote our destination to a bigger audience, like yourself from Lebanon, Jayesh from India, myself, Egypt is unique because we're both African and we're Middle Eastern. We're kind of right there on the gateway. So how to kind of, promote our continent to other countries. Lebanese and Lebanon has a strong history with Africa. And I know many Lebanese have lived for many, many years, just like many Indians have lived in Africa and have become part of the community and the society in many, many generations. But it's, again, looking at, you have people like Miriam and you have Herman, and these are stakeholders in the tourism industry in Uganda, for example, and it's important for them to hear from others. What are they looking for? How can we better promote and sell Africa to people within different regions, whether we're talking about the Asian market, like Jayesh was speaking, whether we're talking about the Middle Eastern or GCC market, how to promote and sell Africa in a way that would attract the tourists. And this is very important. Like, I'll give a quick example. Like, I know with the GCC market, and I know this because I lived in the GCC for 3.5 years. I know that a lot of the tourism in the GCC is family tourism. So a lot of times, a lot of the families, they're looking for like family accommodation, like suites that has more than maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms, for example. This is a preference. So for countries that want to attract that market, they need to also be able to afford those amenities. They want certain comforts. They want certain luxuries. This is where Omo comes in, because Omo is an expert in luxury events and luxury tourism. So, and Miriam as well in organizing these things. So, and Herman being part of UTB, that's a target market for them. Those luxury tourists, the people that are looking for certain accommodations. So we have this sort of talk, sideline talk, to be able to discuss. And as Jayesh was also kind enough to make his comments about things that he sees can be improved, to improve the experience of travelers, coming to Uganda. Because in the end, as almost said, whether we are Africans or we are people that really are fans of Africa and support Africa, we have all one thing in common, and that is how we can promote this continent, how we can, because we know that the tourism industry employs a lot of people on this continent.
We
and
can promote it, Nancy, for example, like nice places.
Media.
Nice
You're
places,
an ambassador for the media.
Yes,
media plays a big role. Yeah.
Media is everything now, so we can promote it in Arab media sites and in on social media, on Facebook, on everything. So we can, because I know that Africa have nice places like Uganda and others, and that's how you say, that's our point of view. Yes.
Yes, and it's very important. The role of media cannot be underestimated. I think it's very important. Maybe Herman or Xavier will either agree or disagree, but I think they will agree that the media is a partner when it comes to promoting tourism. And definitely when we're talking about, we're targeting a specific market, it's important to engage with the media and those in that region to be able to get them on board to help us, with our content, to be get the word out there.
There are nice traditions and places and everything that would be interested for people and tourism.
Thank you so much, Ada. We're going to look to you to be a partner to help promote African tourism and Uganda in Lebanon and in the Arab world.
My pleasure, Nancy, and it was nice to meet everybody, David, and Herman, and everybody in our meeting. And
Thank
Miriam,
you so much. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Xavier, Herman, would anyone like to comment? Miriam? Omu?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm here.
Can I go?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, Omo. Okay. I don't know where to start from. Omo or now. For Omo's point, I feel your pain, and I actually I agree with you 100%. Is what we need to do. And unfortunately, it's more of a political question than it's beyond the mandate of the tourism boards. But we tried at some point. We are pushing for at least we had started with the block of East Africa, where the East African countries are going to promote themselves as one destination, and were able to get on board Kenya and Tanzania, and then someone would pay. You pay for one visa, and it gives you access to all the other 3 countries. And we hope to be able to extend it to to Greater East Africa, and then from Greater East Africa, maybe we'll bring on West Africa. But it's the progress is very slow. The progress is very slow at the moment, but the future should be like that.
Great.
Trust me, yeah. Internally, we have tried to push for, and me personally, I've
Herman, we lost. The internet is giving us a bit of trouble.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now. The internet was lost.
I don't know why you lost me now. I think I proposed a campaign where we'd run one, at least one with Egypt, where they say gorillas and pyramids. Nancy, I think you remember that one.
Yes, we still have to make it happen.
That's fantastic.
Then for Uganda matters, I know a lot of Nigerians come to Uganda for the matters and what. So I've been proposing where we actually stop calling them Uganda matters and call them African matters, because we have more people named after the matters in Nigeria than maybe we have in Uganda. Chizito, we have heard of.
Oh, wow. That was an interesting piece.
Yeah.
The name of Chizito. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You can hear me? Yes. So I've been proposing some things like that, where we have the Catholic Church in Nigeria take lead in organizing the Uganda Matters celebrations here. So that's now that way, it will be easy for them to rally their church to travel to Uganda. And then next year, we have one of South Africa take over the organization of that event, because I know it brings a lot of Africans in Uganda. So things like that. But
Herman, with the co-branding, even with the Ugandan or the African martyrs, when we talk about religious tourism, it's so easy also to co-brand with Egypt, because for Egypt as well, here we're promoting our religious tourism as well, because we have also the many monasteries and the various sites that the Holy Family has visited during their time in Egypt. And those sites too, because I know a lot of Ugandans, they travel like to Jerusalem, or they travel, to Bethlehem, and they have to fly over Egypt. But there are many very significant and important religious sites for Christians and Muslims, all religions actually, in Egypt. So that's something you can also co-brand when you talk about, religious tourism.
Yeah. So it's a talks like this that are going to get us there. We need to keep talking more about these things, and then one day we'll be there.
Absolutely. Before I turn to Ivan, because I want Ivan to give his presentation, I'm really excited. The excitement is building. I wanted to just, again, give Xavier an opportunity. Would you like to? As you know, this session, of course, is promoting Uganda as a top destination for tourism. And in general, the overall theme is putting Africa as a top destination. If you speak, you're on mute. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And then we can have presentation. Ivan, you can share your screen and start setting up if you like.
Nancy, I could not hear you. I don't know.
Okay,
it's my
no,
network.
I was saying if Xavier wanted to add something, and if not, then maybe Ivan can also share his screen so he can give his presentation. Ivan has a wonderful presentation, and I will give Ivan the opportunity, of course, to introduce himself. A presentation on Uganda. And Herman, I don't know, you must already be familiar with Ivan, but you have to see his work. It's incredible. It's something really, really impressive in terms of how his photography, and it was almost idea for him to have like a sort of gallery or sort of like event where he can showcase his work. And we thought this might be a good opportunity to start.
Nancy, Ivan is my homeboy. I know him so well.
All right.
Yeah, but
no need for introduction, huh?
yeah, we're always in touch with him. Yeah, but before Ivan comes in, the guy from Lebanon.
Yes.
What's the name?
Ale.
Yes.
Ale.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to tell him that yes, we cannot promote tourism without media. It will be like winking at a girl in darkness. She won't see you winking. So we definitely need the media on board. Absolutely. All the way, 100%.
Absolutely. And so maybe we will have to create a media group, like a WhatsApp group or something, so we can maybe put together like press conferences and things, press releases and things that they can then share among the media there.
That would be cool.
Yeah, perfect.
That would be cool. And I'm a press release, so I can help you on this.
Wonderful.
Yes. So I have many websites I can post in it and help you, because I'm ambassador of media in Lebanon.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Nancy. Yes, you know this. You are in my group, Mashahir al-Arab.
Yes, I'm part of your group. Yes, that's right.
Yes, and I have an idea, Nancy. We can make two traditions of music like between Uganda and Lebanon, so people can know the nice music of Uganda and nice tradition in Uganda, and know the nice music in Middle East. So we can make some mixture, because I work in production and media, and I have a studio.
Oh,
so
great.
that's,
You
yes.
promote the culture through the music and dance.
Yeah.
And... No,
Yes.
you'll find a lot of that in Uganda. You'll be very impressed. So you should plan a trip. You have Miriam here, and she can help organize a trip for you to go there, take a look, and then it'd be so much easier for you to promote, Uganda and the culture to Lebanese audience.
Would be good, because I have studied at college audiovisual, everything in audio and sound and theater and cinema, because I'm a director of media and clips and everything. So we can help in this nice thing.
Wonderful.
We can make nice things funny for Uganda people.
That's amazing. And you have me and you have Omu also with event management. So, you have all the elements you need here to make it happen. And you've got Herman as an official, and you've got also Jaya. She's got, access to the whole Asian market, which is a thriving and very important market. So you've got all the elements you need to make something happen.
Yes, yes, that would be cool and good, and we can make some orchestra work and make something good with the help of musicians, and some they can show the two traditions of Lebanon and Uganda together.
That's amazing.
And it will be, they can make cards, okay, for salary for the party or everything or the friends, and it can be for helping Uganda poor people.
Something
You
for
know
a
what I
good
mean?
cause, like something for
Donations, donations.
charity. Yeah,
That's what I
that
mean.
would be great. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so Ivan, we're excited. What do you have for us? We're really excited.
Yeah, waiting.
Hey, friends, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, my name is Sevuma Ivan. I'm a travel photographer based in Uganda, and I'm excited to all and travel companies in Uganda and actually outside Uganda to help them create their marketing content. And one of my biggest clients right now is Marasa Africa. Marasa Africa is a lodge brand. It's a luxury lodge brand with 4 lodges in Uganda and 3 lodges in Kenya. And in 2020, end of 2020, I was honored to be part of the group that hiked Rwenzori together. The task that I was given by Nancy, which is very simple, was part of what I've done around Uganda to start with the Rwenzori. All the time before, actually, this was my second time to hike the Rwenzori. And one thing I realized, when people talk about Rwenzori, the only thing they talk about mountain, it's really far beyond just there's no other peak or just summiting Margarita. It's just, there is a lot of beauty along this mountain. And I think, I don't know if everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Sorry. Allow me to. Why is it taking long? Okay, so Rwenzori, yes, Rwenzori has got a lot of beauty, just right from the landscapes, the fauna and the flora. Rwenzori, it's a pack of everything. Like for the primate lovers, Rwenzori, you can find the primates in the Rwenzori. For the people who are interested in flowers, trees, rivers, Rwenzori has got everything in one pack. And these are some of the photos I took the Rwenzori. And this is one of the gentlemen we were hiking with. I think he was one of the delegates from the parliament, from the Ugandan parliament. And as you can see, these were our porters who were helping us to carry things to the peak, things to the different camps that we're sleeping at. So all these photos were taken on the second day and on the first actually. And on the first day, we're walking through the tropical forest, getting to, on your journey through the Rwenzori, you're going to experience a lot of walkboards. And this is one of the walkboards that we walk through. And the reason of these walkboards is some of these places are swampy. They have a lot of water and they sink in. So that's why they improvise with the walkboards to facilitate their travel. So I just wanted to take you through to just get a little bit of the feel of what you should expect when you're to hike the Rwenzori. This is one of the new waterfalls that was of recent discovered. It's called Enoch Falls, and it was discovered by one of the guides from Rwenzori trekking services. He's called Enoch. They were working on a new trail, and that's how he got to discover it. So it was named after him.
Amazing.
Yes. And now we get to the snow.
Oh.
So many people are always surprised that we have snow at the equator. Yes, it's true. We have snow, and we have a lot of snow. So this was on the summiting day, and we can see Madame Leila of Uganda Tourism Board. She was actually our chief hiker. So this is all Uganda, and it times it's really hard to believe, but this is part of the what Uganda's got to offer.
Amazing.
That's the team that hiked. That's the entire team that we hiked with. It includes the main hiking team. It includes the.
Where's Herman?
Herman is not part of the team. Herman still needed to do some gymming. He needed to do some gymming.
Ivan, I hiked up to, on the first day, I went up to about 3,000.
Actually, Herman, he did his best. He managed to reach up to 100, up to around 1,000 meters. But he couldn't really continue. He needed to do, so that's why Herman is not there.
Laughing. The person would have to climb it when they visit Uganda.
One of the fascinating things about the Rwenzori are the ice caves. So this is one of the ice caves. This is actually, it's non-snow, it's real frozen ice. And it's a cave, it goes deep though. By the time we got there, it had started getting blocked. So this is all, this shows how beautiful Uganda is. And I believe this is one of the things that is not yet really sold out there to show the people the real beauty of the Rwenzori.
One of the highlights. So Xavier, Jayesh, did you guys go to Rwenzori? Did either of you guys actually visit Rwenzori?
No, I haven't, but I would love to explore this area.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I even need to tell you that you need about 8 days, 4 for climbing and 4 for coming down.
You should. I think it's one of the best places to visit. So this is one of, yes, actually you need about 8 days. We took about, actually,
I'm sure
actually Herman,
options as well.
Actually, Herman, you need about, on the Rwenzori, you need about 7 days. That is 4 days up and 3 days down. But then if you include on the traveling day from Kampala and back, those will be about 9 days, because you can't travel and you start hiking the same day. From Kampala to Kasese, where they hike. Yes, please.
Ivan, you have to explain to them that there are different trailheads to enter the Rwenzori. Go ahead, Ivan.
Routes, do they make it like an easy route, a mediocre route, and a difficult route? Is that how they do it? Like I know with the gorilla trek
route we use the Chilembe
group, medium group, and a difficult group. Is it the same?
Or there is any mediocre route?
I think there is no.
My experience with the Rwenzori.
Go ahead, Ivan.
Like, yes, there are different routes that you can use to hike Rwenzori, but then on the summiting day, you all take the same route. So all these routes, they bring you to the same point. And trust me, all the days were hard, but the hardest day is always the summiting day. Because on the day, so this was our last camp up. This is Margarita camp. And it's from this camp that we summited Margarita. We went up to the Margarita. And if you can look up here, there is another camp. It's called Elena's camp. So Elena's camp, for us, we use the Rwenzori trekking services. and Margarita camp belongs to Rwenzori Trucking Services. So up here, the Elena camp belongs to, is it Rwenzori Mountaineering Services, which runs the Chilembe, which runs the Central Circuit. So wherever you've come from, be it you've used the Central Circuit or the circuit, at some point it will bring you to one point, the main highlight of the hike, and that is the hardest part was the last day to summit Rwenzori, to summit Margarita. Reason being, from this point, you walk for more than 15 hours. I remember our days, since we were a big group, we had to wake up at midnight and start hiking, start summiting at 1. So imagine you've started at 1 in the middle of the night, up to around 6 in the morning, because up to 6 in the evening the following day. Because when you summit Margarita and you come back down, you don't sleep at this camp. You have to continue down to a downer camp. One, because of oxygen. This side, the oxygen levels are a little low because you're really high. At this point, you're above 4,000 meters above the sea level. So that's why they bring you down at least to a lower camp to rest. So was one of the toughest days. And all the days we did Rwenzori, this is the only day when we saw people breaking down. I personally had to throw my camera bag away. At that point, at some point I reached and I was like, you know what? No, I have to leave my camera bag aside. Let me just continue with only one camera, because I had a camera bag with different lenses. So it is a very tough day, but and that's another thing I learned about Rwenzori. Rwenzori is not about how strong you are. It's not about how fit you are. It's just about your mental. You just have to prepare mentally, because we've had stories of people who are always in the gym that have failed to summit Rwenzori. A week before we summited Rwenzori, there was a group of French military guys who were training, but they failed actually to even reach the 4th camp. Most of them broke down, and actually one of them had to be carried down. And you always expect the army guys to be strong, since they are always in the wild, they're always, or the hard trainings they go through, but they failed. So Rwenzori is not about how strong you are or how fit you are, but it's about your mental. It's about preparing mentally. So I just wanted to show you just a little bit about the beauty about Rwenzori. So in the 8 days or the 7 days that you're going to use, or I would say in the 4 days you're going to use going up the Rwenzori, each day there is a campsite. You stop at a campsite, and when you book with these companies, you get a full package, which comes with the porters, which comes with the guides, which comes with the summit gear. Of course, you have to come with your hiking gear, like the hiking boots, the heavy jackets, the summit, the snow pants. But then there's some things that are provided to you, like the hiking axe, the crampons for the snow, the helmet. So yes, those are provided to you, and also the ropes. They help you with the ropes, and they have very good guides that help you actually to get through this mountain. And because there's some points where you reach and you have to take a rope, you have to use a rope to pull yourself up. So this is actually another beautiful photo that I took from Margarita Camp, and it shows Mountain Baker. So when you're at Margarita Camp, you're actually sleeping between 2 mountains. You're sleeping between Mount Baker and Mount Margarita on the other side. So this is Mount Margarita, what you're seeing right here. This is what Mount Baker on the other side of the camp. So Rwenzori, apart from the vegetations, it has got a lot of beautiful lakes, and this is one of the lakes that we encountered on our way up. It's Lake Kitandara, and it's at this lake. It's at about 4,025 meters above the sea level, and right here you can see another
Ivan, this is your photo?
This is a campsite that is run by Mountain or Lake Tandara.
Ivan, is there a fish in the lake?
So that's part of the team. No, actually, there is no fish in the lake. All the lakes up here, there is no fish because they are so cold. They told us that there is completely no fish in them. Oh,
so there's no life in the water.
He was my guide all through. Yes, there is no life in the water because during the winter time, during the rainy season, which is more like the winter time at the Rwenzori, these lakes actually, some of them, they freeze. And that also reminds me to, that also brings me to, you need also to know the right seasons on when to hike Rwenzori, because there are some seasons when Rwenzori gets really rough, like really rough, whereby even at the campsite that you saw back there, the Margarita camp, during the rainy seasons, that campsite is also fully covered with snow. So that also makes the hiking a little tougher and harder. We're lucky that during our entire hike, we only experienced rain twice. We experienced rain on day one. I think the rain was welcoming us to the Rwenzori. And we also experienced heavy rain on our last day as we are getting down. I think the rain was saying bye-bye to us after on our last day. So those are but during the rainy season, expect to experience a lot of rain all the time. But no matter, even if you're hiking during the dry seasons or the rainy seasons, you just need to be prepared. You just have to have everything ready by yourself. You have to have everything ready on yourself. So this is just some random photos I took, just showing how beautiful Rwenzori is up there. And this brings me to another beautiful lake, the lake down there. It's called Lake Bugata. Lake Bugata is also, Lake Bugata is another crater lake that you will encounter while at the Rwenzori. And at Lake Bugata, there is another campsite. It's called Bugata Camp. It's one of the campsites that, in case you've gone through the Chilembe circuit, it's one of the campsites that you will encounter. You will ladders because and the main reason why they decided to put the ladders there was these parts are rocky, and during the rainy seasons they freeze, so it becomes hard for some. It was really hard for people to hike, to go up these rocks during when they are frozen, because as you know, ice, you just slide off. So the Uganda Wildlife Authority together with Rwenzori Tracking Services, they decided to put their ladders at access and to go up. So that's the campsite down there. That's the campsite down there. So this picture shows some of our porters, the ones, they call them porters, but we loved calling them helpers because they were helping us with our luggage. When you book your hiking trip, you're entitled to one. They give you one porter. So in case you need a second porter, you pay an extra fee for that extra porter. And now, like me, I had about 3 porters because of the camera gear, our luggage, and everything we had to go up with. So this is another lake that you will encounter on your way up at the Rwenzori. It's called Lake Bugata. And just next to Lake Bugata, that's where Bugata Camp is. And at the Rwenzori, this is the only place where a helicopter can land in case of an emergency, in case of a rescue, in case of a rescue that needs a helicopter. So this is the only place where a helicopter can land. So even if you are at the Margarita camp, or even if you're at the glaciers at the Margarita Peak, and there is a big emergency, they'll have to rush you down to this point. So So of course, that's me. There we are already above the clouds. I had already thrown away my bag. I decided to continue with just my camera. So that's the ice axe, and that's the helmet I was talking about. These things, they're given to you by the company you've booked your hiking trip with. So that is, so that's a bit about my Rwenzori hiking trip. I also wanted to share with you something small, and sorry.
Can you allow Omo to, say something? I see she's very moved.
Oh, yes. Yes, Omo. Yes, Omo.
I was actually clapping, but it's amazing. I never would have thought anywhere like this existed in Africa as a whole. This aspect I've never known or experienced. I know we have hailstones and a bit of what looks like snow, but nothing this serious. But I needed to know at what time of the year does this happen? And also to point out to the Ugandan tourism that this is actually a strong selling point, because I know a lot of Africans and I know a lot of Nigerians who their life or their dream or their goal is to actually experience snow or some form of snow. And if they knew that they would have to go outside Africa to get it, trust me, they wouldn't bother. Like I say to people that I go outside of Africa now because maybe my son lives there or something like that. But in terms of a holiday or a vacation, I have everything I need around me. So I needed to know what time of the year does this happen. So when we're marketing it, or we at least know when to start marketing it and all that, how to position it.
December,
Rwenzori hiking is mostly from June, July, August. The weather is always good for hiking Rwenzori. And then August, September, the weather gets a bit rough, September, October. And then it gets better again November, December, and part of January. So basically June, July, August, they are very good months for hiking. And then November, December, January, they are also very good months for hiking. Though even during the rainy seasons, even in these other months, hiking still goes on. It does not stop because there's some people who are so adventurous who want to experience that harsh part of the Rwenzori. And I think I'm one of them. I'm actually right now I'm preparing to hike Rwenzori again, but I want to do it during the harsh weather. Though oh, you can start with June. I'm hiking Rwenzori again. June is good month. It's a non-rainy month, and in June I want to see if I can summit at least 5 peaks. This time I only summited 1 peak, but June I want to see if I can summit again Margarita, Baker, Emin, Speak, and also there is a new peak. It's called Chitegei Peak, which was launched on our hike. So this time around in June, I want to see if I can summit all those 5 peaks.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you're still seeing my screen.
Still loading.
Sorry?
Still loading.
No, we're not seeing.
Oh,
It's
really?
still loading.
Yet it's showing me that it's sharing already. Okay, let me reshare again. I'm sharing. Okay. Is it shared now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my favorites.
Yes, I decided to put together a few, as Miriam had shared earlier, Uganda is indeed a private capital, and we have about, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think we have about 20 different primate species. And
wow,
there's some common primates. There's some common thing with Nancy, and she was telling me about the monkeys that kept on disturbing her. And I think this is, these are the monkeys that kept on disturbing you in your speak resort. But also Uganda, now we have lots of chimpanzees, which can be found in the Chambora Gorge, Kalinju Forest, and Chivale National Park, which is a primate capital. So I decided also to share with you just a few of the primate photos I've done around. And the mountain gorillas. These are some of my latest mountain gorillas that I've done. And also Uganda, we have the golden monkeys. Nancy was telling you about the golden monkeys. And this can only be found in Uganda and in Rwanda. And we are blessed to have them. So this is how a golden monkey looks like, in case you had never seen one. Beautiful. And golden monkeys live in the bamboo forest. So when you go to Mount Mugahinga Gorilla National Park, you'll have to hike up to the bamboo forest. And that's where you'll get the golden monkeys. You can never get them in the tropical forest because they love feeding on these bamboo leaves. So,
wow.
This is more of my work from my recent gorilla tracking and chimpanzee tracking back in Chivale. One thing I love about the chimpanzees, every time when I go tracking them, when I look at them, you really see yourself in them because the things they do, they just reflect you in them. Now, like, actually, this is one of my favorite chimpanzee for this particular chimpanzee. It was just seated there and it was like as if it was in deep thoughts, meditating upon what's happening next. And that's what these particular two photos of this chimpanzee. So for any primate lover, Uganda is a place I think to come to. And this is a Patas monkey. I was telling you about the Patas monkeys are mostly found in the savanna parks. They can be found in Matson Falls, in Kidepo Valley National Park, actually even in Lake Mburo, you can easily find the Patas monkeys. And yes, and a collection of so many more other monkeys, other primates. I don't know if comment anything.
No, it's amazing. Honestly, incredible presentation. Thank you so much, Ivan. That was really.
You're welcome.
And
so I just wanted to just take you through that very quickly, and I'll be sharing more about I'll be sharing more. I also, actually, I'm going to be exhibiting at this year's POATE, and I'll be uploading a lot of content that I've taken around Uganda, a lot of photos. And one of the things actually I do that I've not talked about, I've been equipping different people with photography knowledge, mostly in the tourism industry, because one thing I believe, there is no way we can market our tourism
Wow.
content, and content is key. So I've been working with a number of lodges, equipping their staff with photography knowledge, because you find that these staff on the ground, and these kids are always in the wild, they are always in the parks, so they're getting is training different guys with photography knowledge. And it's very simple. You don't need to have a very big camera to start documenting some of these things, to start doing photography. Even with just your phone, you can do a lot. There is a lot that you can document with just your phone. So Now, like I'll give an example with the Marasa.
In your class. I said, when I come to Uganda, I'm going to register in your class, Ivan.
You should. Ivan, Marasa Africa.
A student.
Sorry.
Miriam, you already got a student.
Yes, you already have
a student. Yes, I've already got a student.
But I don't know. They cannot teach an old student, so we'll find out.
I'm your second
Actually, one advice I always give to my friends who are running tour companies, and actually my friends who are guides, I always advise them at least to have a little bit of knowledge about photography, because there is a lot of context. Of recent interacting with one of my he was telling me about one incident. He was in Serengeti. He had taken clans to Serengeti, and there was action right before him. There was a fight between the lion and the buffaloes right before him. And this is very good content that he would have captured, but then he thought to capture it because he didn't have a good phone. He didn't have I would really advise our people in the tourism industry and in the tourism sector to invest in some of these things, because some of these things are actually cheap. You can get a good camera even at below $500. You can get a good phone that can do amazing photos. I do a lot, actually, when I travel. I take a lot of photos with my phone than actually with my camera most of the times, because there are so many things you will need to capture, mostly when it comes to interacting with people. Most people fear cameras, but when you pull out your phone, they are so comfortable, and they're so comfortable with you. So that's why I use my phone a lot, actually, more than even my camera. So I would just advise our people in the tourism industry to at least try to equip ourselves, if we can, with at least with a little bit of the photography knowledge, and also to equip our guides with at least some photography knowledge or some knowledge about content creation, because there is no way you can sell a brand without content, and we all need content. Tourism lies on content. Everything we do, all our businesses, they all run around content creation. And I'm glad that that is the next session I'm going into.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you. That was amazing. Honestly, bravo. Honestly. So I think, like I said, we kept you for last because you're the highlight of today. You know, and I think. And Miriam, honestly, with her vast knowledge, and Omu and Jayesh's input, and Herman, of course, we can't, upset Herman. He's the boss. So, with all of us, I think we're such an amazing combination, and each of us have the passion, and we want to promote our continent. So I'd like to suggest that this be just the beginning of these sideline talks. I'd like to suggest, if your time allows, that we do these talks at least once a day if possible, until, because we have the POATE next week. So maybe for the next couple of days, if we can do some of these sessions. I think there's so much material and so much we can talk about that it doesn't do justice to just have the one session. So if you guys are okay with that, I'd like to propose that. And, I'd like to consider you guys like the kind of founding fathers of this sideline talks, and for us to continue this and invite more people to join us as well. So I'd like to hear from Omo and yes, and Ivan. Yes,
Nancy, as we're getting to the end of this, allow me actually to upload Herman.
Yes.
Herman, are you still there?
Yeah, he is.
Herman.
But Herman,
yes, I'm here.
He likes to be called the boss.
Herman is still there. I would like to really upload. I'd really like to upload Uganda Tourism and the entire tourism fraternity. Actually, Uganda. Yes, I want to applaud Uganda Tourism Board for bringing us together in this POATE. But mostly I want to applaud Uganda Tourism Board because they have really done a lot that right now that is being seen in promoting Ugandan tourism. And most of the times we've been looking at only the outside market, but Uganda Tourism Board right now has put a lot of strength in promoting the domestic tourism to the domestic market, domestic tourism, which is actually now picking up. Right now, when you go to most of our parks every weekend, you're going to realize that at least 60% of the people, the tourists you're going to find there are locals. I was surprised I was in Kidepo and almost every Land Cruiser you are finding, it was full of Ugandans. So this is really good. And this has been because of the great strength the Uganda Tourism Board has put in through the campaign that has been running, Take on the Pearl. I think you've really taken on the pearl, and we hope in time to come, we're going to be seeing more and more Ugandans traveling and embracing their country and the beauty of their country. Haman, thank you so much. And that's to you, TB.
Yes, thank you so much, Ivan. Thanks so much. So as we close now, if anyone wants to say any last comments, and we'll just close the session. Thank you. It's been amazing, honestly. It's superseded even what I had expected this to be, and I think we've really done justice to at least opening the subject. And I think as we continue, we will hopefully make a good impact on promoting Destination Uganda and also Destination Africa.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy, for putting this up, and for everybody who has attended.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you, Omu, for coming up with Africa, My Africa.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a great one.
Yes, and Jayesh, since you're Kenyan, you have to also say Africa, My Africa.
Because Africa is mine.
Yes, it's all of ours. Africa, My Africa. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
thank you. It was nice meeting you all, guys. Okay. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you guys next session. I'll create the link and send it out to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you.